If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. Truth will ultimately prevail where there is pains to bring it to light. It is far better to be alone, than to be in bad company. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. Few men have virtue to withstand the highest bidder. The Constitution is the guide which I never will abandon. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire, called conscience. Observe good faith and justice toward all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. True friendship is a plant of slow growth, and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity, before it is entitled to the appellation. Laws made by common consent must not be trampled on by individuals. Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair, the rest is in the hands of God. The foolish and wicked practice of profane cursing and swearing is a vice so mean and low that every person of sense and character detests and despises it. We should not look back unless it is to derive useful lessons from past errors, and for the purpose of profiting by dearly bought experience. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. The basis of our political system is the right of the people to make and to alter their constitutions of government. Happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. Real men despise battle, but will never run from it. The time is near at hand which must determine whether Americans are to be free men or slaves. It is impossible to reason without arriving at a supreme being. When we assumed the soldier, we did not lay aside the citizen. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. It will be found an unjust and unwise jealousy to deprive a man of his natural liberty upon the supposition he may abuse it. Arbitrary power is most easily established on the ruins of liberty abused to licentiousness. My first wish is to see this plague of mankind, war, banished from the earth. Some day, following the example of the United States of America, there will be a United States of Europe. Nothing can be more hurtful to the service than the neglect of discipline, for that discipline, more than numbers, gives one army this superiority over another. Experience teaches us that it is much easier to prevent an enemy from posting themselves than it is to dislodge them after they have got possession. Mankind, when left to themselves, are unfit for their own government. Avoid a man who pretends to be your friend. Bad seed is a robbery of the worst kind, for your pocketbook not only suffers by it, but your preparations are lost and a season passes away unimproved. In the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. Let your heart feel for the afflictions and distress of everyone, and let your hand give in proportion to your purse. Lenience will operate with greater force, in some instances, than rigor. It is therefore my first wish to have all of my conduct distinguished by it. War, an act of violence whose object is to constrain the enemy, to accomplish our will. Religion is as necessary to reason as reason is to religion. The one cannot exist without the other. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Let your discourse with men of business be short and comprehensive. Friendship is a plant of slow growth and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity before it is entitled to the appellation.